Last spring, while listening to some Beatles covers, I came across a version of I Want You that really grabbed me. It was featured on a record known as Game, Dames, and Guitar Things by Eddie Hazel. Eddie is best known for his work in Parliament Funkadelic. His style of guitar playing rode the line between solid funk and Hendrix-infused acid. He was born in New York in 1950, and after receiving a guitar as a Christmas present from his brother, he took to mastering it. In 1967, he was recommended for the touring group of George Clinton's Parliaments by friend Billy Bass Nelson. At the time, he was only 17, and his mom refused to let him go. Eventually, George and Billy would convince her, and his destiny was set. He became one of the foundational members of the group that would eventually become Parliament Funkadelic. His work is brilliantly showcased on the first 3 albums. For the 1971 album Maggot Brain's title track, he contributed a 10-minute solo that is often hailed as one of the greatest of all time. George told Eddie before launching into the solo to imagine that his mother had just died, and to use that emotion in his solo. He would leave the group shortly after, but would contribute off and on to the band's albums. From there, he worked with the Temptations, appearing on 2 of their records. In 1974, he returned with Parliament Funkadelic for 2 more albums, including co-writing all the songs on Standing on the Verge of Getting It On. Following an arrest that same year, he was replaced by Michael Hampton in the band. He would again work on and off with the group, and in 1977 released the album Game, Dames, and Guitar Things. This album would become the stuff of legends. It was his only solo record and became incredibly rare after its release. It didn't sell well, and essentially only had 1 run. This resulted in it becoming a holy grail for funk fans. It was even used in an episode of Homicide: Life on the Street, where someone was shot because they destroyed another fan's copy. Eventually, it would see re-releases from Rhino, Collector's Choice, and Real Gone Music, allowing fans to finally add it to their collections. He would continue to make appearances with Parliament Funkadelic and contribute to several more of their records. Sadly, in 1992, Hazel died as a result of internal bleeding and liver failure. He was only 42 years old. His music, thankfully, has seen a massive resurgence in the world of streaming. Pieces featuring him that were only heard on the rarest of cuts are now available to anyone and everyone, as it should be. Eddie's work was dripping with funk and flair and earned a spot with history's greatest players. Check out his work if you haven't already. It's well worth the search. What do you think about Eddie's work? Let me know in the comments below. The content on this channel is made possible from viewers like you. Help the channel grow by supporting me on Ko-fi, which you can find a link to below. You can also help by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.